You're enjoying Racing World. It's brought to you by Perspective Group. It's your global motorsport podcast show brought to you in conjunction with Race Control Magazine.
Well, joining us on our road trip around Indiana, another Kiwi, Jacob Douglas. Here we are at Raceway Park, Jacob. First year in USF2000. How's it going?
So far, pretty good. It's been a tough year, but we've been learning a lot so far. So, I'm pretty happy with just the progress that we've been able to carry, and I think the potential that we've got. I think the results don't quite show the hard work and the pace that we do actually have.
It's a very big learning curve when you come from our side of the world, and yet the Road to Indy series that you're in now with the progression, we've seen it with many drivers, including, say, Hunter, who's up to Indy Lights now. There is a real progression path there for you, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you look at Billy last year, then this year the progression there has been pretty cool, and same with Scott McLaughlin. Usually that's the case. The first year is always quite difficult, learning tracks, learning how to drive an oval like this weekend. But I'm really looking forward to having my second year and heading off as doing as best we can in the rest of this year.
When you compare it with racing against guys back in New Zealand and the racing that you did at home, how different is it here in terms of driver respect, shall we say? Or racecraft?
I'd say it's a little bit more aggressive, but generally the standard is quite good over here because they're quite strict on penalties and all of that. So the driving standard is really good over here.
And then the USF2000 car, how do you find that to drive by comparison to, again, anything that you would have driven in New Zealand?
The only other thing I've driven is a Formula Ford and a TRS, so it's kind of almost in the middle of those. Not quite as much downforce as a TRS, but obviously more than a Formula Ford, so definitely a lot grippier than a Formula Ford, so it's a nice feeling.
And then we find ourselves here at Raceway Park. So for those of you who don't know, Raceway Park is about 15 minutes from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's a small little oval. It's fantastic. It's a great breathing ground. There's a great drag strip here as well where the winter or summer nationals are held for drag racing. But for your first experience on an oval, that's certainly a bit different than, say, racing at Manfield.
Yeah, for sure is definitely one of the most challenging things I've done, and considering it's so different to everything else, it just makes it that little bit harder. We weren't bad in the testing that we did here, but then we've been struggling this weekend, unfortunately. But we're working on it, and I think we're in for a good race.
What things did you find were different when you turned those first few laps on an oval by comparison to being on a road course? Like, what immediately struck your attention? Just the fear factor, I'd say. It's just anyone that tells you driving an oval isn't scary is lying, I'd say. But just especially at Lucas Oil when you run so close to the wall, just having it right beside you is quite a different feeling to any road course, I'd say. But it's cool. It's different when you bang out a good lap. It's definitely a pretty good feeling. I know. I was lucky enough several years ago now to do several laps in the IndyCar two-seater with Mario at Fontana Speedway in California, and I certainly noticed the effects of the aero. So for you as a driver, do you see even in USF2000 a difference in aero characteristics when you race on this oval by comparison to, say, Barber, where you were a few weeks ago?
A little bit, a little bit, but I'd say it's all pretty new, and it's not a whole lot different, I'd say. Having the steering wheel not be straight down the straight was a weird thing at first, but for me it's the getting on the gas super early trying to get on the gas as early as you can on the exits is the hard thing when the wall's right beside you. That's what I've been struggling with.
And then I guess again for people at home who may have followed Jacob at home or are following him now, what's it like? I know, but you can tell me what your take is on it. What's it like living in Indiana?
I thought it would be more before I came here, to be honest, but it's not bad. It could be worse. I mean, I'm living in America racing, so I mean, there's not much more I could ask for. But there's not a whole lot to do. But I mean, I'm grateful to be able to live over here and race.
It's very, very much a racing town, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Just finally, before I let you go, because I know that you've got a lot to do, tracks ahead in the USF2000 season. Is there a track that you're particularly looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to all of them actually. Road America, Mid-Ohio, two quite iconic tracks, and then Toronto is going to be quite cool, going back to a street track. We didn't have the best luck at St. Pete, but so we'll be looking to avenge ourselves there and hopefully get some good results. And then Portland looks like quite a cool track. I went there back in July with Kiwi Motorsport, but I didn't get to drive, but it looks like a nice track, so I'm looking forward to racing there as well.
There you go. There's another one of the Kiwis that are making their mark in the US. Jacob Douglas, another one for you to check out and follow here on Racing World.